Hello, guys. Welcome to Football Fandom UK. Yep, you're not reading it wrong. We're 2 days after the end of the Premier League season, and already we're into the friendlies as Tottenham and Newcastle have travelled to Australia for a friendly to obviously help entertain the Australian fan community down under. So hopefully you guys knew about this game because it certainly wants to catch you out, guys. As who expected that 2 days after the end of the Premier League season we would be straight into friendlies, but we are, guys. So teams are on the field and we're about to get underway. As this is the final game for these two teams before they break up for the summer, as they travelled to Australia for a pre-season friendly right at the right 2 days into pre-season. Can you believe it? So, well, it's not even pre-season yet, guys. But as I say, this is becoming more of a common thing every season now, with teams from the Premier League travelling out down under and to various other parts of the world as well. But obviously, a big Premier League fan community down under in Australia. So hopefully, going to be a good game, guys. Obviously, as I say, it is a friendly. So um, I would expect it to be maybe quite as intense as the Premier League, but it still might have some intensity to it, guys. As I've watched games down under in previous summers, and it's been quite a few of entertaining games. And Dave is with us. How you doing, Dave? Welcome to the show, mate. Hope you're doing well and having a good day, mate. The weather's miserable outside, isn't it? I don't know if it is where you are, mate, but it's certainly miserable here. Welcome to the show, Dave. Pleasure, as always, to have you with us, mate. Dave saying, good. Hello, guys. Good to see you, mate. Hello, Stevie and all fandom. Stevie's at work, mate. Stevie's at work. I'm flying solo on this one as it's only a friendly for the pre-season. Well, it's not, as I say, it's not even pre-season yet, but it's just uh, two Premier League clubs that have travelled down under to go and entertain the Australian fan community. So, welcome to the show, Dave. Hope you're having a good day, mate. Pleasure to see you as well, mate. Thank you for your kind words. Much appreciated, mate. So, let me know if you got a thoughts on a score prediction for this one. We might have an end-to-end game with plenty of goals. Seen that plenty of times before when the teams have travelled to Australia. Spurs travelled there last year, I think, and played West Ham, I think. So, and I think they lost as well. So, will history repeat itself with Newcastle? Dave saying raining all night here, Gaz, and still raining. Yep, same here, mate. Same here. Typical, innit? Managed to catch up with a few things the last 2 days, and then I've finally got a bit of a day off today, and I had a chance to get something done at home, and it's peeing it down. So that's why I'm with you guys. So we're off and underway as Newcastle with the possession played out wide to this near side as they just play it back to their own goal. Spurs come to press the ball, but Newcastle play it back out towards this near side as now they play it forward. Spurs challenging for it as they win it back and just play it back to their centre backs on the edge of the centre circle. They're saying 3-2 Newcastle, I think. Good shout, mate. Good shout. Well, I hope we do get some goals. Obviously, the pressure's off in this one. It's not an official game. So hopefully, with both teams travelling out there to entertain the Australian fan community down under, let's hope they serve us up a treat. And so we're not used to these kind of early games, are we? Well, I am when it comes to pre-season, but we're not even in pre-season yet. I can't believe 2 days. Honest, it shocks me when I see these fixtures. 2 days after the end of the season, and already we've got a friendly. It just goes to show, though, guys. I mean, I'm buzzing that the Premier League clubs take the time to travel down under to entertain the Australian fans. The other side of the world, obviously, they find it difficult to get over here and watch official games. So it is, I think, a great thing that the Premier League clubs do make that effort to go out there to the Australian fans and entertain them where they can. But it's still crazy to have a game so early. But it just shows how much the Premier League is becoming about the money. As why would you be travelling over there 2 days after the end of the season for a friendly if it wasn't about the money? But as I say, we got to look at the positive and uh, fantastic fans out there in Australia. Always appreciate the Premier League travelling out. Dave saying it's nice to have a week off work. You got a week off work. Spurs now with a shot, but it's blocked off by Newcastle as the ball just deflects back to the goalkeeper. And now Newcastle play the ball out wide on that far side as they come forward. So, yeah, great to hear, Dave. Yeah, enjoy your week off if you've got a week off, mate. Absolutely fantastic. Um, I'm I'm supposed to be. I was supposed to be doing a job today, but the rains stopped me doing that. And as I say, I was going to have either do that today or tomorrow. So I thought I'd have the day off today with the weather being miserable. So Spurs with the possession now, just on the edge of their own box. As they come forward. Are you doing anything nice with your week off, Dave? Got anything nice planned, mate? Hope you have. Hope you can get out and make the most of it. Do something enjoyable, mate. Now Spurs playing the ball out towards this near side as Newcastle come to challenge. Son now with the ball as he just plays it into the centre. And now Tottenham playing it down the middle. Oh, it's knocked on there, but Newcastle have managed to win it back. Ball played down this near side as Spurs just tipped it out of play, and that will be a throw-in on this near side for Newcastle midway inside their own half. Dave saying first week off in 6 years. Whoa. 6 years, Dave. Whoa, that's crazy, mate. You should always take time out, mate. Always take time out. One thing I'm very passionate about, and I'm always saying it to my friends because I've got a few friends that work crazy hours as well as myself. But you have to remind yourself sometimes that you work to live, you don't live to work. So nothing wrong with working hard. I respect anybody that does that. But you always have to remind yourself that you work hard to live, not to live just to work hard. So yeah, I always try to keep that in mind myself because it is very easy to get carried away with working excessively, as I'm sure you guys know. Newcastle now playing the ball down this near side. But yeah, enjoy the week off, Dave. You deserve it by the sounds of it, mate. Dave saying, just relaxing this week. I need it to recharge my batteries. Absolutely. If you've been working fanatically for 6 years with barely any breaks, absolutely, mate. Make the most of it. Let's hope the sun comes back and you can get out and enjoy a bit of the weather. So we've got a free kick here for Newcastle. I would say about 25 yards out from goal, out towards this near side, but still reasonably central, not quite central, but I would say almost in line with the edge of the D on this near side, but obviously a bit further out. So Trippier standing over the ball here. I think he's going to, Trippier to take it, crosses it into the box. The referee's blown the whistle for a foul in the box, and that will be a free kick to Spurs. So now Tottenham playing out from the back as they play the ball forward, but Newcastle trying to challenge for it as they just play it back to the goalkeeper. Now Spurs switching the play out to that far side as they come forward now, working their way up towards the halfway line on that far side. So yeah, hopefully one or two of the other fan dinners might pop in, Dave. Keep you a bit of company in the chat, mate. But I'll certainly have a bit of chit chat with you What do you think of the England team, Dave? Announced just today some surprises there, isn't there, mate? Oh, Spurs now coming forward as Newcastle just managed to intercept it inside their own box. It's knocked out to this near side, but Newcastle managing to keep it in play. It's now Newcastle switching the play out to the opposite side of the field. Now coming forward, Spurs press the ball, but Newcastle just managing to retain the possession. As now they switch it out to Trippier on this near side as he races forward, playing it forward. Newcastle in behind the Spurs defence here as they come into the box, pushed out wide, but Spurs just doing enough there to put Newcastle off. And that will be possession back with Spurs as they race forward on the far side of the field. Coming up into the Newcastle half as Newcastle tried to press the ball there, but Spurs just cutting it back as they now play it back in towards the edge of this centre circle, switching the play out to this near side as now Son comes towards the edge of the box. Newcastle with plenty of players back here. Now Spurs playing it into the middle as they knock it forward, coming into to the box. It's played out to Son on this near side as Newcastle trying to defend this, and it's deflected behind. Yeah. Well, I think Son thought he got won his team a corner there, but the ball ricocheted off himself and went out of play. So that'll be a goal kick to Newcastle. Dave saying, to be honest, guys, mate, I've not seen the England squad yet. I'll have a look at halftime and let you know my thoughts. Sounds good, Dave. Yes, quite a few surprises, mate. Big surprise. One thing that's really shocked me is that Gareth Southgate. I'm not going to tell you the whole squad, but he's not picked Rashford, and I think that's fantastic. Nothing against Rashford, but he's just not played well, and it's about time we saw the national coach not picking players when they're not playing well. So I was really pleased to see that he's actually showed a bit of backbone and not picked Rashford, because, like I say, nothing against Rashford when he's playing well. He's a fantastic player and he should be in the squad. But when he's not playing well and his attitude's bad, like we've seen this season for Man United, then he doesn't deserve a place in the team. So I'm feeling refreshed by the fact that Gareth Southgate has actually had the backbone to make that call. Because normally he would just pick his favourites. I'm sure you know what I mean. A lot of people criticise him for picking his favourites. But yeah, I think that dropping Rashford, he's right. It's right. Nothing against him. Like I say, he's a fantastic player when he's playing well and he's on his game. But he hasn't been on his game for the last 6 months. He's been a shambles. Let's be honest. He's been chucking his toys out the pram, and he's not been performing for his club at all this season. Really, the body language has been disgusting. So why should you reward players when they're showing that kind of bad attitude? Maybe it'll give him a big piece of humble pie. The fact that he's missed out on the Euros through his sulky behaviour for Man United. Spurs now coming forward as Newcastle trying to challenge. Spurs just keeping the possession as they play it out to Son on this near side. And now Son just cuts it back as he plays it back to Maddison. As now it's played back out wide again on this near side as Newcastle just press back towards the edge of their own box. Spurs managing to keep the possession though as they play it back into the centre. Now Maddison with the ball in the centre as they look to play it out wide and do on that far side as eventually it's played back to the halfway line. Dave saying, I'd pick Cole Palmer over Rashford any day. Well, I don't think Palmer's got picked. I don't know. I've not seen the entire squad myself. Obviously, I was watching some of the reaction to it last night, so I know some of the squad. Well, I did have a quick look, but I don't think Palmer got picked. I don't think so. I'd have to double check it again. I'd have to double check it again myself, Dave. But you know how it is. It's 32 players, so it's hard to remember every player that's in it. Because obviously this is his preliminary squad, so he's got to slim it down to 26 before the Euros. But 32 he's picked, and he's picked a few youngsters as well. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as Spurs keeping the pressure on here, trying to get in behind the Newcastle defence. As Newcastle come across and challenge for it on that far side, they've managed to win it back. As now they try to clear their lines, playing it forward. But yeah, that's a good shout, Dave. I'm actually curious now you mentioned it, whether Palmer is in the thingy. There were a lot of calls for Elliott to get a goal up as well, but he hasn't been. Elliott, plays for Liverpool. Um, he has actually been shining in the last couple of months for Liverpool, but maybe Southgate thinks he's not been around long enough. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's why he's not picked him. But a lot of fans, I was reading some of the social media comments, and a lot of fans were saying, "Why has he not picked Elliott? Why has he not picked Elliott?" Now, Newcastle on this near side with Trippier in possession. And they just cut it back to their centre backs midway inside their own half. It's a cagey start to this game, guys. But as I say, it is a friendly game. Now, Newcastle knocking it out towards that far side. Ball now crossed out to this near side as Trippier manages to intercept it. Spurs trying to challenge, but Newcastle still with the possession there. Now, the ball played into the centre as Newcastle just outside the Spurs box here. Spurs cautiously trying to challenge as Newcastle just play it back to the halfway line. Now the ball played out to that far side. Now Newcastle work the ball down that far side, but as they try to play it back inside, it deflects off a Spurs player and it's gone out for a throw in on the far side of the field to Newcastle, midway inside the Spurs half. Dave's saying, I just had a quick look. Palmer is in the squad, and a few names I've never heard. Yeah, as I say, I think he's given a few of the youngsters a call up in the preliminary squads. He came out in his interview last night saying, I'm giving some youngsters a chance so we can take a look at them. Well, that's all well and good, but why didn't he do that in the last international break? Was that not a better opportunity to pick youngsters and have a look at them rather than just before the start of a season? He should be using, before the start of a major tournament. The friendlies he's got now, he should be using to get his squad ready and set up right for the start of the tournament, not be messing about looking at youngsters. I'm all for looking at youngsters, don't get me wrong, but I think he had the perfect opportunity to do that in the last international break during the season where it was, but I think we've all discussed it. Some of the decisions made by the international managers sometimes really head scratching. Spurs now with the play out wide on that far side. They cross it in. It's headed away by Newcastle. It's now Newcastle trying to come forward down the middle as they knock it forward, trying to get in behind the Spurs defence there, but too much on that ball as it rolls all the way back to the Spurs goalkeeper. Now Spurs playing it out to Son on this near side as Tottenham come forward. Oh, it's too early. Can't believe I'm up this early doing football. But this is good preparation for the Euros. Newcastle are winning the ball back there. As now they come forward. Spurs playing a really high line here. They just managed to win it back there. So they just Spurs playing it back to the goalkeeper as now they knock it forward on this near side. Son now with the possession as he plays it forward, looking to try and get in behind the Newcastle defence there. And it was read quite well there by the goalkeeper as he just came out to intercept it before Spurs could latch onto that and get a shot on goal. Now Newcastle with the possession, played out wide on that far side as they come forward now. Spurs just trying to challenge, but Newcastle managing to keep it as they try to come inside, but forced to cut it back there as Tottenham challenge. Now Newcastle switch to play out to this near side as it's played out to Trippier as he just cuts it back and plays it back to the halfway line. Davey's saying, why pick your players for a tournament who are unproven? We need tried and tested players with experience in such occasions. Absolutely, I agree. I agree, Dave. Absolutely. Maybe we could forgive a manager for picking one, maybe two players in the preliminary squad that he wants to have a look at. But to be picking, four or five youngsters that he's probably not going to take to the tournament is just madness. Like I say, he had the perfect opportunity in the last international break. The last international break, England had no important games. They weren't. Actual what we might call competitive games. They were just like friendlies, if you like, against mediocre teams. That was where he could have rested, given a rest to some of the senior players while they was in the middle of the season, and he could have selected a whole team of players that he wanted to have a look at. And none of us, I don't think, would have criticised him for that. Because as long as he makes the use of this time now, that's what we want to see now. This time now is where we want to see the national team manager making the right decisions. We're heading into a major tournament. We've got a great chance to compete and get to the latter stages because there's a lot of people saying that we've got one of the best squads in the tournament. So why waste that opportunity by messing about with youngsters that he's probably not going to take? But yeah, I'm all for youngsters getting an opportunity. Don't get me wrong, guys. But just like I say, time and a place, time and a place. But yeah, well said, Dave. Newcastle now with the ball played out towards this near side. So just cut it back there to their centre back. Spurs coming to press the ball. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that like button if you could. Would be appreciated. Not expecting a lot of views on this game as it is only a friendly and it's an unusual time for us out in the here over in the UK. Newcastle now on that far side as they come forward. Spurs trying to challenge for it there as Newcastle just play it back into the centre. Now Newcastle switching the play out to this near side as it's played out to Trippier. Trippier plays it back inside as Spurs nipping at the heels trying to win it back there, but Newcastle managing to keep it. So now they play it out towards that far side, coming towards the edge of the box here. Spurs trying to challenge, but Newcastle just keeping it there as they look to create some space to get the cross in, but Spurs challenge for it. Newcastle just stop it going out of play, but eventually it does, and that will be a throw-in on the far side for Newcastle, deep inside the Spurs half. Taken quickly now by Newcastle as they play it back to the halfway line. Now it's played out wide to this near side as Trippier trying to get the cross in, and it's deflected behind by Spurs, and that's going to be a corner on this near side to Newcastle. So if you're just joining us, guys, oh, sorry, it is early. If you're just joining us, guys, we are 20 minutes in, still 0-0. Corner on this near side for Newcastle. Trippier now with the corner. It comes in. It's deep, headed away by Spurs. As now Tottenham tried to come forward. Newcastle scrambling to get bodies back behind the ball here. Spurs just cut it back. Now Maddison with the possession for Spurs on the halfway line. Played into the centre circle. Now it's knocked out wide on this near side as Spurs coming forward, but Newcastle just press the ball there. Excuse me, guys. As Tottenham now play into the centre. Now it's played out wide to that far side. And Spurs playing it forward towards the edge of the box. As it's crossed in, it's knocked away. And Newcastle now trying to play out from the back. As the ball played forward, but it's won back by Spurs. There is now Spurs with a shot. And it's wide of this near side post. Maddison getting his shot off there, but just couldn't get it on target. Snatched at it a little bit. So that will be a goal kick to Newcastle. So, yep, thank you for that, Dave. So Burns putting on a new shirt as he's just had one ripped. And it's a bit tight. Squeezed into it. Newcastle now playing the ball out to this near side as Spurs press the ball. Newcastle chip it forward now up towards the halfway line as Spurs manage to intercept it. Now Spurs trying to come forward here as they play it into the centre circle, but Newcastle pressing the ball well. Now Tottenham knock it out wide on that far side. As Newcastle come to press the ball, but Spurs just managing to keep it as they knock it forward here. Now Tottenham playing it into the box as it just gets away from them there, but they've managed to keep it in play as they cut it back out wide on that far side to come again. Newcastle pegged all the way back towards the edge of their own box here. As now Spurs play it out wide to Son on this near side. Son crosses it in as it's knocked away again by Newcastle. And Spurs regain the possession outside the box. Now it's played out wide on this near side as there's a coming together right on the edge of the box there between Trippier and Son. And they're just having a few friendly words there. So, yeah, if you're just joining us, guys, you're not reimagining it. We are here for Spurs v Tottenham. Spurs v Newcastle playing out in Australia in a pre-season. Well, it's not even pre-season yet, but it's a friendly shall we call a post-season friendly, as both teams have travelled out there to entertain the Australian Premier League fan community. Now, Spurs with a free kick. As again, Trippier blocks him off. And now Newcastle knocking the ball out towards this near side, and it's gone out of play. Yeah, that's his son just not happy about that with Trippier. So, yeah, guys, please do, if you could, hit that like button and drop your comments in the chat. Would love to hear from you. I know a lot of people probably not expecting this game today, so I'm not expecting loads of conversation in the chat, but hopefully one or two guys that are fan dinners might drop in, as we've already had Dave with us. And Dave obviously always shows absolutely classy support. So thank you for being with us, Dave. Not sure if you're still there, but understandable if you've jumped off enjoying your day off, mate, or your week off. Newcastle now play the ball out wide on this near side as it's played forward, but Spurs have won it back here. So just play it back to the goalkeeper. Now Spurs with the possession. I say switch the play out to that far side. Just coming forward here, so just cut it back. He was coming forward, but decided to cut it back. Now Spurs on this near side as they knock it forward to Son. Son challenged there, but Newcastle unable to win it back as he plays it into the centre. Now Spurs looking to knock it out wide. They do so as they manage to come towards the edge of the box here, but Newcastle again pegged all the way back towards the edge of their own box. As now Tottenham on that far side, just keeping the ball in play as they play it back into the centre, midway inside the Newcastle half. Newcastle, as I say, pegged all the way back here towards the edge of their own box. Now Tottenham knock it out to that far side. It's played forward there as Newcastle challenge for it, but Spurs just managing to keep it as they play it backwards to come forwards. But again, Newcastle challenge for it as they managed this time to win it back on the edge of their own box. Now they play it out to that far side as it's just cut back there as Spurs trying to challenge for it, but the referee's blown for the foul here. Joe Linton, just a knock to the knee there. No malice in it, guys. So, yeah, you got to feel for these players. They've not even had a day off yet, haven't they? Because obviously they played on Sunday in the Premier League. So they must have literally travelled straight out there. And it's a 24-hour flight almost out to Australia, I think. Depends. Obviously, they're in Melbourne. So that's on the, yeah, that's the furthest. Yeah, that's farthest. It's Perth, in it, that's closer to us. Melbourne on the other side of Australia. So, yeah, they're playing at the Melbourne Cricket Club, guys. And it is a nice stadium, not what we're used to over here in the UK. It's an oval stadium. So, yeah, bit unusual to what we're used to over here in the UK. We just got a stoppage at the moment, guys. Play receiving treatment. Joe Linton just took a knock. So we're just waiting to. Yeah, he's coming back on the field now. So Newcastle now with the possession on the edge of their own box. So now they play it forward. Just keeping the possession there. Joe Linton seems to be moving okay. So hopefully, don't want to see any players getting injured in a friendly like this, really. We can help it, guys. Now Newcastle pushed out wide on this near side as Spurs challenge for it. They've won it back here, Tottenham, as they play it into the box, but it's straight away immediately won back by Newcastle. As now they play it out wide to this near side. Newcastle chipping it forward, but it's won back by Tottenham as they come towards the Newcastle box. Trying to get through the bodies here as they get the shot off, but it's blocked off there by Newcastle. And the ball knocked away as now, Spurs have won it back again as they come playing it out wide to that far side, back into the box. As Newcastle scrambling to get bodies to defend the ball. And now Tottenham play it back into the centre as they play the ball out wide on this near side. Newcastle just coming to press the ball, but Spurs just managed to keep it as the shot comes in. And, well, there was a deflection on the ball there, and it just kind of took the momentum out of it as the ball just looped up into the air and fell right into the goalkeeper's hands. Now Newcastle coming forward down the middle as they play the ball out wide to that far side, coming into the Tottenham half now as they race towards the edge of the box, trying to get the ball played in behind there as Spurs trying to challenge, claims for a foul there, offside. Referee has blown the whistle for offside there. So good idea by Newcastle, but just didn't quite come off right. Maybe just getting the timing wrong there. So now Tottenham with the possession as they play the ball out wide on that far side. It's played forward as now Spurs working the ball down that far side of the field. Ball kicked long as Son now in behind the Newcastle defence. He comes out towards his near side as he just cuts it back to Maddison there. And it's played back into the edge of the box as Newcastle trying to challenge, but Spurs managed to keep it here as they're trying to get the shot off, but it's deflected again as the goalkeeper just manages to win it back. Oh, Spurs have won it back as they get the shot off, and it's smashed into the back of the net. Tottenham with the goal to break the deadlock. 31 minutes gone. Mistake at the back there by Newcastle, gifting Spurs the opportunity. And it's Maddison with the goal for Tottenham. Ball. Yeah, it was just a. Well, what is the goalkeeper thinking there? He played it forward and straight into the path of Maddison. And Maddison certainly not going to hesitate when he's gifted possession there, right in on the edge of the box, as he managed to work through about 3 defenders for Newcastle and get the shot off, and it was smashed into the roof of the net. And I think he might have even took a slight deflection there off the goalkeeper. Now, Newcastle with the possession. So they play it out wide on this near side. Now the ball played forward as it just bounces back to Spurs goalkeeper there. So, yep, guys, today, perfect example of why you need to have the notifications turned on during the summer for fandom, as the games come all over the place at all different times with obviously the Euros coming up, international friendlies coming up. We'll be having the pre-season friendlies coming up, and I get on the channel as much as possible where I can. I can't it's a lot more difficult for me to tell you guys what games I'll be doing during the summer months. But if you guys have been around in previous seasons, you will see that I try and cover as much football as possible during the summer, whether it's internationals, whether it's club friendlies, whatever it is. But obviously, as I say, games played all over the world during the summer months. So it's a lot more random, the timing of the game. So make sure you got those notifications, the bell turned on so it gives you guys notifications of when I'm streaming so you don't miss any games you guys want to keep up to date with. Newcastle now coming forward as Spurs win it back there in the centre circle. Now Tottenham just knocking it out towards this near side. Are you still with us, Dave? I'm not sure if Dave's gone doing something. Fair enough. Make the most of your days off, mate. So Tottenham now with the ball as it's played out wide to Son on this near side. He just couldn't keep it on under control there as Newcastle have managed to win it back here. And now Newcastle eventually play it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now it's chipped out wide on that far side. As Newcastle now playing it forward down the middle. And it's just one back there. Couldn't keep the ball under control, and Spurs have managed to win it back midway inside their own half as they now try to come forward down the middle, playing it forward here as Newcastle trying to challenge, but the ball is deflected out wide on that far side as Newcastle just managed to let the ball roll out of play, and that will be a goal kick to Newcastle. So, yeah, if you are just joining us, guys, you're not imagining it. Yes, it is Spurs v Newcastle. They finished the end of the Premier League season on Sunday and flew straight out to Australia for a pre-season friendly to obviously give the opportunity for Premier League fans down under in Australia to enjoy a match in their own backyard. Now, Tottenham coming forward as both teams will be breaking off for the summer break after this game. So I believe. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as Tottenham with the possession. But, Newcastle trying to challenge for it there, but Spurs managing to keep it. Now it's chipped forward, ball over the top as it's won back by Newcastle. And now Newcastle play into the centre as Spurs trying to challenge for it here, but Newcastle forced to play it back towards the edge of their own box. Now the ball Well, referee's blown for a foul there. And we're about to have a substitution. Oh, God knows how many substitutions we're going to have. So it's Trippier coming off. So Trippier coming off here. I think we'll see this will be a theme of the game, guys. A lot of substitutions. So Trippier coming off, and it's Murphy, Jacob Murphy, coming on to replace him. So that's 36 minutes Trippier's managed to get. Now the ball played out wide on this near side as Newcastle coming towards the edge of the box here, but the referee's blown for the foul here. So this is going to be a free kick to Newcastle. And it's about, I would say, good, easy, good 30 yards out, maybe slightly more, guys. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as it's just cut back there as Newcastle managing to keep the possession. Dave is saying, in most friendlies, I think you can have up to 12 subs aside. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I know it's a lot more, Dave. Yeah, I think it's right though, because that's the whole point of friendlies, isn't it? It's not just about, obviously it's about tactics. Although I don't think this game is about tactics, because obviously this game just to obviously give the Australian fans a well-deserved look at the two Premier League teams. Obviously, right after the Premier League season, we can't say it's tactical, can we? Because they're about to break up for the summer break. Um, but but yeah, you're right, Dave. I think it's right because a lot of the time with friendlies, it's either about tactics or it's about getting players match fit in it, mate. So if this was like in a month or two, then we'd be saying it's about getting players fit ready for the start of the season. But at this stage, obviously, when we've only just finished the Premier League season on Sunday, then we can't say it's about getting players match fit because these players are well overdue a holiday break now. And some of them won't even get that because some of them will be going straight on international duty after this game. So Newcastle have won a free kick here on the edge of their own box, out on this near side, as they play it forward now. But yeah, thank you for that, Dave. Now the ball played forward here as Spurs challenge for it. Spurs have won it back here. And now they play it towards the edge of the box. I'm sorry it's a bit quiet, Dave, but I think a lot of fans probably don't know about this fixture, to be fair, mate. Now the ball crossed in as the Spurs getting the shot on goal there, but the goalkeeper just managing to do enough to keep it out. So, yeah, my apologies, Dave. It's not a bit more enjoyable for you in the chat at the moment. Hopefully, maybe one or two fandeners might pop in the second half if they notice. Depends if they got the notifications turned on to know that we'll be streaming at this time, because it is a very unusual stream, isn't it? It's well outside of uh, our normal running hours or normal times that we usually on. Although I have done plenty of streams at this time in summertime, just obviously through the normal course of a season, we don't normally stream games this early in the morning, but I've done it. Definitely know I did it last summer. Quite a few early morning games last summer, and obviously we did the World Cup as well the year before with some unusual kickoff times. So it's not unusual to me, but it might be to some of the regular fans that are ball played forward that as it's won back by Spurs. And now Spurs play it back to the goalkeeper. If you're just joining us, guys, we're on 40 minutes gone, just over 40 minutes gone, and it's Tottenham 1, Newcastle 0. Both teams travelled out to Australia for a friendly, post-season friendly for the Australian Premier League fan community to enjoy a game. As I understand it, I think both teams will be breaking off for the summer after this game. Now Newcastle with the possession as the ball played forward. It's knocked out wide on that far side. And now Newcastle coming forward here on the far side as Spurs come to press the ball, but Newcastle play it back into the centre. Now it's knocked forward, but it's blocked off there by Spurs as Newcastle managed to win it back just inside their own half. Dave is saying, honestly, guys, I don't mind a quiet chat. Most will be working today, apart from us. Day off due to weather and my week off. Yeah, absolutely. I think if it's raining in Yorkshire, there's a chance Jamie might be off today as well, um, because obviously he gets rained off, doesn't he? Because he does roofing. So if it's raining, I know he's said a number of times if it's raining, you can't be climbing on roofs in wet weather. It's too dangerous. It's the slippiness of it. So yeah. Spurs now chipping the ball forward. But thank you for that, Dave. I appreciate your conversation and company as always, mate. And yeah, it's absolutely opportunity for us to talk a little bit of something else, hopefully. A little bit more about other things in the second half. If you're still about, mate, obviously we'll be keeping an eye on the game and I'll do my best to keep you guys informed. But if the chat is quiet, then yep, we can enjoy a little bit of slightly different chat between us, mate. And that's awesome because, as I say, I always like to get to know you guys as mates, not just as football fans, as we build a fandom community moving forward. What helps it be positive if we build good friendships along the way. So I don't mind the quieter chats. Just for you guys, though, sometimes I like the chats to be a little bit active so you guys can enjoy a bit of conversation. But I appreciate that, Dave. As you know, mate, I'm always grateful to have your conversation and company. So, top man, Spurs now with the possession on this near side as it's played forward. Newcastle coming to challenge for it. The Spurs just keep the possession there. Maddison knocks it down the middle and Spurs play it into the box. Newcastle trying to challenge here. But Spurs, well, eventually Newcastle do manage to win it back as they knock it away out to that far side. But Spurs quickly come across and challenge as they win it back. Now Spurs playing into the centre. It's knocked out wide to that far side. David saying quiet chat, but 9 likes. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that, Dave. Thank you for letting me know. And big thank you to all you guys that have been kind enough to hit that like button. That's really appreciated. Loving the positive vibes. Thank you, guys. But thank you for letting me know, Dave. Awesome. Top man. But yeah, that's very much appreciated. Well, I think it's because probably not a lot of people streaming this game. But that's what we do here at Fandom. We keep you guys informed with as much football as possible, no matter what competition, when it is, what time of the year. We do our best to keep you guys informed as much as possible and keep you guys in the loop. Now, Newcastle coming forward, ball played into the box. Newcastle have managed to score. Well, it was just played out wide on this near side. It was crossed in. And on 44 and a half minutes gone, it's Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. Game on. Well, that was nice just before the half-time break to get that goal. That levels up the score. So, going to make for a little bit more of an interesting second half. So both teams on the score sheet now, guys. 1-1. And it's Isak with the goal. Spurs now get us back underway. 1 minute added on time, guys, at the end of this first half. Davey's saying, Gaz, I'll be back. I'll be back for the second half. As I have to go pick up meds. Speak to you in the second half. Thank you, Dave. No worries, mate. Yep, you go and do what you need to do. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate you being with us, mate. And yeah, it would be great to have you back with us in the second half if you're available. But if not, mate, not a problem. You do what you need to do. Totally understandable. Thank you, Dave. A pleasure as always having your conversation and company, mate. Yep, drive safe, mate, and I hope you manage to get that done nice and quickly. So thank you for that, Dave. Top man. So there goes the halftime whistle, guys. Just Jamie is saying, Soz, lads, I'm working. Gotta be sneaky using the phone. Cheers for the commentary. My pleasure, Just Jamie. Top man. Very kind of you to say, mate. Sorry to hear that you're trying to sneak in and listen so that your boss doesn't catch you, mate. But yeah, we'll do our best to keep you informed, mate. Thank you for that, Just Jamie. What a guy. A pleasure to have you with us, mate. And thank you very much for your kind words. Hope you're not working too hard, mate. Top man. Thank you, Just Jamie. What a guy. Loving the positive, kind words, mate. Thank you. So there you go, guys. At half time, it has finished 1-1. As we go into the second half to play, just gone into the half-time break. But an end-to-end game, cagey game, guys, as you might expect with it being a friendly 2 days after the end of the season. But both teams have created a couple of chances. They've been coming forward, but as you might imagine, guys, it's just a little bit off pace to what we're used to in the Premier League, but not too much off pace, just not quite at the full ferocity we're used to in the Premier League. But that's understandable with both teams travelling out there in such a short period of time after the Premier League season's only ended 2 days ago. So thank you for that, Just Jamie. As I say, mate, welcome to Football Fandom UK. A pleasure to have you with us, and hopefully we can keep you informed in the second half, mate. Top man. Davey's saying, JJ, we won't tell. Thank you for that, Dave. Top man. Thank you, Dave. What a guy. He's always Mr. Positive, Dave, love that about you, mate. Love that about you. Go and get your meds, mate. Go and get your meds sorted. So, yep, stick with us, guys. We'll be bringing you the second half commentary. I'm going to go and make myself a coffee, and we'll be back with you in a few moments. As I say, keep your comments coming, guys. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as I say, I'll be back with you in a few minutes, and I'll read out any more comments that you guys add in the Fandom community chat. But yep, at half time, it is Spurs 1, Newcastle 1. Sorry about that, guys. Just making myself a coffee while the halftime break was on. Bloody miserable weather here in the UK. We just can't get away from the rain this year, can we, guys? So if you're just joining us, guys, you're not imagining it. You are tuned in to Football Fan Den UK as we are giving you guys commentary on the friendly game going on between Tottenham and Newcastle. It's 1-1 at half-time as both teams travelled straight out to Australia after the end of the Premier League season on Sunday for a friendly. And both teams obviously going out there to entertain the Australian Premier League fans as they don't get the luxury of enjoying Premier League football week to week. Andy Ngayuna. Apologies if I'm not reading your second name correctly, mate. How are you doing? Welcome to Football Fan Den, Andy. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're having a good day. Andy's saying, come on, you Spurs. Well, thank you for that, Andy. Welcome to the show, mate, and welcome to Football Fan Den UK. I'm presuming, are you a Liverpool fan or a Tottenham fan? I'm not sure. Obviously, saying, come on, you Spurs, but I can see the Liverpool badge there. So let us know which club you support, mate. I'm presuming it is Liverpool, but maybe also liking Spurs as well. Nothing wrong with that, mate. As I say, welcome to Fanden and welcome to the show. So, teams just coming back out on the field, guys. We should be back underway in a moment or two. As I say, 1-1 at half time. And it's about 11 degrees apparently out there in Melbourne. So obviously winter months out there in Australia right now. We're enjoying the summer over here in the UK, but down under it is winter time. So conditions that all the players should be used to with with the temperatures we get over here in the UK. Philip Sanchez, Summer. I can't read that. Philip Samacina Sima. Apologies if I'm not reading your second name. I don't think I'm reading it correctly, mate, but my apologies. Welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Football Fandom. Saying, Link, where can I watch it for free? Google it, mate. Google it. I'm not watching it for free. I pay for all the channels, mate, for help us build Football Fandom UK. So obviously, I'm not watching it for free. The channel I'm watching it on, I pay for. So yeah, you'll have to Google it if you want to get it for free, mate. I can't tell you guys where you can see it, but if you guys contact me on social media, I can help you out with giving you some tips of streaming platforms you may be able to watch some games on if you can get them. But obviously, I can't tell you that on YouTube. Now we're back underway. Spurs with the possession, just playing it back to their centre backs and all the way back to the goalkeeper eventually. So now Spurs tried to build from the back, knocking it out wide to this near side. But thank you for that, Philip. And as I say, mate, welcome to Fanden. Newcastle coming to press the ball there. As Spurs now trying to play it forward, but Newcastle, well, the referee's blown for a foul there. Just Barnes just pulling on the shirt of the Spurs player there. So that will be a free kick to Newcastle just outside the Spurs box out on this near side. Now, Newcastle taking the free kick short as they trying to come towards the edge of the box there. They managed to work through the press from Spurs, but forced to play it away though, as Spurs again try and challenge. And Newcastle play it back up towards the edge of the centre circle. Now it's played forward as it's won back by Tottenham. Tottenham kicking it long, seeing the goalkeeper off his line there. But the ball bounces straight out of play. And that will be a goal kick to Newcastle. Just saw the goalkeeper off his line and thought he'd take a shot there, but he was way too far up the other end of the field to get that on target. But sometimes it does come off. Does come off when players take a pot shot like that. Now the ball played forward as both sets of players trying to win it on the halfway line, but it's Spurs with the possession. We've had Joe White come on for Joe Linton in the halftime break. Now the ball played all the way back to the Spurs goalkeeper. And it's now Spurs just knocking it about on the edge of their own box. Now the ball played long down the middle as Newcastle intercept it just inside their own half, close to the halfway line. Coming forward now on this near side as they edge the way forward here. Spurs challenging just on the edge of the box there as they've managed to win it back here, Tottenham. And now Newcastle challenge straight back, trying to win it back there, but the referee's blown for the foul. And that will be a free kick on this near side to Tottenham, just outside their box on this near side, deep inside their own half. So thank you for that, Philip. Hope you managed to find it, mate. So now Newcastle have won it back here as they get the shot off, and it's just wide of that far post. Good idea, but just couldn't quite get it on target as it just whizzes past the far post. It wasn't a really good effort from outside the box. But as I say, just couldn't get it on target there. So Spurs now to play out from the back. Ball played forward as Newcastle again challenged for it. They've won it back here, Newcastle, playing it towards the edge of the box as Spurs challenge for it, but the ball just deflects away as Newcastle pick up the loose ball. They chip it out wide on that far side as Spurs win it back. Now Spurs playing it forward on that far side as Son now plays it long down the field, coming towards the edge of the box here as Newcastle scrambling to get bodies back behind the ball. Tottenham just playing it back inside. And it's now Spurs with the possession in the centre of the field, midway inside the Newcastle half, knocking it out wide to this near side as they cut it back now, playing it back towards the halfway line as Newcastle press the ball from the front and just come out to challenge on this near side, but it's gone out for a throw into Newcastle. Now Newcastle on this near side as they try to come forward here. Spurs challenging for it as Newcastle just play it back to the centre backs on the edge of the centre circle. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as Newcastle work it forward. A lot of seagulls flying around the stadium here, guys. So corner on the far side for Newcastle. Ball taken short as now Newcastle just cut it back up the field, looking to try and get a cross in here as they play it in behind. Cross comes in, it's deflected behind by Spurs, and that will be another corner on the far side for Newcastle. If you're just joining us, guys, we're 50 and a half minutes in. Corner comes in, headed away. Spurs now with the possession outside the box, racing forward up towards the halfway line as they play it out wide to that far side. Still coming forward here as it's knocked on, trying to get in behind the Newcastle defence, but Newcastle just managing to deflect it and the ball goes out of play, and that should be a corner on the far side for Tottenham this time. So, yep, Dan Burn just managing to deflect it behind and out of play. So Tottenham with the corner on the far side of the field. corner comes in, right into the mix of bodies, headed away. Spurs with the possession outside the box, just playing it back to the halfway line. As now Tottenham with the possession. It's Spurs now just inside their own half as they play it back to their own goalkeeper. Now the ball played out wide on this near side. As Tottenham on the edge of the centre circle now as they play it back into the centre. Now played to the far side as they play it back into the middle and switch the play back out to this near side, right across the field there. As now Spurs forced to play back to their own centre backs as Newcastle pressing the ball well from the front, played back to the goalkeeper. As now Spurs play it out wide on that far side, coming forward here. As Newcastle tried to challenge for it, but Tottenham just managing to keep the possession as they work the ball forward on the far side of the field. Looking to play it back into the middle. Now switching the play out to this near side. Can't believe how many seagulls are flying around this stadium. Spurs on the edge of the Newcastle box, just knocking it around as they switch the play now from this near side out to that far side, trying to get in behind the Newcastle defence. But Newcastle just managed to challenge for the ball on that far side as they win it back. Now Newcastle playing the ball forward as it's won back by Spurs. Midway inside the Newcastle half on the far side of the field as now they play it back into the middle. And eventually it's played all the way back to the halfway line. And won back by Newcastle here as Newcastle trying to come forward, but Spurs make the challenge and the referee's going to give the foul and a yellow card there. Just a grabbing of the shirt there by the Spurs defender. Yeah, just tussling for the ball, but got a bit more than of the man than he should have. So skip booked by the referee. Now Newcastle trying to come forward as they play it down the middle, but it's won back by Tottenham. Now Tottenham playing it back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper blasts it out wide on this near side, and it's gone out of play for throwing to Newcastle midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. Now Tottenham coming forward. Ball played into the centre as Newcastle challenge for it here. Spurs managing to keep it as now they play it out wide on that far side. Tottenham coming forward, working the ball down that far side of the field as they cut the ball back inside. Ball switched out to this near side as now it's crossed in. It's deep and it just goes past everybody as it bounces out towards that far side. Spurs tried to keep it in play, but just couldn't get to it quick enough, and eventually it has gone out of play on the far side of the field for Newcastle, throwing deep inside their own half of the field. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that like button if you could. And if you're new to the channel, do consider subscribing. We cover a lot of football here on Football Frlendly UK. And we'll be covering a lot during the summer with the Euros, international friendlies, club friendlies as well. So if you guys want to keep well informed throughout the summer, going into the new season, then this is the place you want to be, guys. As I say, we cover a lot of football here on Frlendly UK. Now Spurs with the possession on that far side, but again, the referee's blown for the foul there. And that's going to be a free kick. And I think we're going to see a double substitution here for Spurs. Now, Tottenham now coming forward down the middle as they come into the box, trying to get the shot off there, but it's blocked off by Newcastle as Newcastle managed to win it back. Now they play it out wide on this near side. Ball played forward there as Spurs challenge for it. They've won it back here, Tottenham, as now they play it out to this near side. Ball crossed into the box. It's knocked away by Newcastle. As now Newcastle trying to get on the attack, playing the ball long up the field, down the centre. As Spurs scrambling to get bodies back behind the ball here. Newcastle knocking it out wide on that far side as they keep coming forward, coming towards the edge of the box. As Spurs come across to press the ball, but Newcastle just managing to keep it as they cut it back inside, playing it into the middle. Now it's chipped out wide to this near side as Tottenham managing to get plenty of bodies back behind the ball here. Newcastle on the edge of the Spurs box on this near side. Just keeping the possession under pressure there as Spurs pressing well for it, but Newcastle just cut it back up the field. Now it's played back out wide to this near side. Is a nice bit of play there, but didn't quite come off as Spurs managed to win back the possession on the edge of their own box. Now they knock it forward, but it's challenged by Newcastle as Newcastle win it back. Now coming towards the edge of the box, getting the shot off, but it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. As the Tottenham goalkeeper managing to intercept that quite comfortably. Now he quickly throws it out wide on that far side as Spurs trying to get on the move up the other end of the field, playing it up towards the halfway line. As Newcastle getting bodies back behind the ball here. Spurs just keeping the possession on that far side. As now they play it across the halfway line and out to this near side. Coming forward now. Racing up towards the edge of the Newcastle box. Newcastle trying to challenge, but Spurs managing to keep it. As now they're trying to play it through the defence. As eventually it's knocked away by Newcastle, but not cleared. As Spurs pick up the loose ball on the edge of the box. Now Tottenham trying to work through all the bodies. So many Newcastle bodies there on the edge of the box. Spurs challenged, but Newcastle managed to win it back here. Now, ball chipped forward as now Spurs trying to get bodies back behind the ball as Newcastle play it out wide on that far side, coming forward as they race up towards the edge of the Spurs box, working it down that far side, coming towards the byline now as they're forced to cut it back there as Spurs come to press the ball. Ball crossed in here by Newcastle. Spurs just managed to nick it off his toes there. And now Spurs back with a possession, playing it up the field. As now Spurs trying to hit Newcastle on the counter-attack. Ball played out to Son on that far side as he comes towards the edge of the box. Newcastle getting bodies back. He cuts it back as the shot comes in, but it's blocked off by Newcastle. And eventually the ball is knocked wide of this near side post. But good defending there by Newcastle as he managed to scramble and get enough bodies back behind the ball there just before Spurs could unleash any kind of shots. And eventually when they did, they got two shots off that were blocked, and eventually the third shot was knocked wide of this near side post. So Tottenham making the double substitution now as Son to come off the field. Yeah, the question is how much longer can Son put up with not winning trophies at Newcastle, because he is a talent, no question about that, but he is obviously getting older, and that talent, obviously, as much as he's talented, he will start to lose a bit of pace in his later years. So you think the question's got to be asked, will he be at Spurs in the next 2 seasons, or will he decide to move on? Now, Tottenham on this near side as Newcastle challenge for it. Newcastle have managed to win it back here. That's now Spurs win it, trying to play it into the box there, but strong challenge comes in from Newcastle. And the referee's blown for the foul. 78,000 in the stadium out there in Melbourne, guys. So fantastic fan support from the Australian fans down under. 78,000, that's fantastic for a friendly game. Now Tottenham with the ball, played into the centre circle. Now switching the play out to this near side as they keep edging forward here. Newcastle coming to press the ball, but Spurs just play it back into the centre and eventually all the way back to the halfway line as they keep the possession here under pressure as Newcastle pressing the ball well. But Spurs managed to work through the press as now they knock it up towards the edge of the box. But it's one back behind Newcastle here as they manage to intercept the ball. Now playing it back out wide on this near side before eventually cutting it back and playing it all the way back to the the Newcastle goalkeeper. Geordie's in numbers out there, guys. A lot of Geordie fans out in Australia. The Toon Army being shown that it doesn't just exist in Newcastle. A lot of fans down there in Melbourne wearing the Newcastle shirt, but equally a lot of fans wearing the Spurs shirt in the stadium as well. So we're about to have another substitution here for Newcastle. And it's Murphy coming on. I think it's a triple substitution, this. So, yeah, it's Amiron coming off, Ashby coming on. And it's Murphy coming on for Dan Burns. And also Diallo coming on for Barnes. Now Newcastle playing the ball out to this near side as we're back underway. Spurs trying to challenge that. As Newcastle now knocking it out wide on that far side, but challenged by Tottenham. As Tottenham now win the ball back. Playing it back towards the edge of the centre circle as they play it forward now, down the middle. Newcastle trying to challenge for it there, but Spurs just play it back to the halfway line. If you're just joining us, guys, we're on 63 and a half minutes gone. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. If you're wondering why we got a friendly game so early in the summer, it's because both teams finished the season on Sunday and flew straight out to Australia for a friendly game to entertain the Premier League fans down there in Australia. A lot of interest in the Premier League in Australia, so only right that some of the Premier League teams travel over there. Now Newcastle on the attack as they play the ball into the box here. Newcastle trying to challenge. Spurs trying to challenge as Newcastle play it in there, but Spurs have won it back here as they knock it away, but it's won back by Newcastle. As Newcastle now racing towards the edge of the box, trying to get the shot off, but it's blocked off again by Spurs before eventually it's deflected out of play on this near side as it goes behind, and that should be a goal kick to Tottenham. Don't forget, guys, if you could, please do hit that like button. Would be appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. Now, Tottenham playing the ball out wide on this near side. As Newcastle come to press the ball. Spurs just playing it forward. Weather is okay out there, guys. It's winter in Australia at the moment. So, obviously, temperatures that all the Premier League players should be used to. Not too hot out there at the moment. As we know, Australia gets very hot at certain times of the year, but at the moment, obviously, it is winter out there, so the temperature's cooler. Probably more what the players are used to over here in the UK. Newcastle now playing the ball back to the goalkeeper. Spurs come to press the ball. Newcastle trying to play out from the back as they knock it out wide on that far side. It's chipped forward up towards the halfway line. Oh, Spurs just managed to win it back there. That's a poor ball by Newcastle. Spurs just intercepted it and play it back to the goalkeeper. Ball played long down the field. As Newcastle have won it back here. So now Spurs with the possession. as they play it out wide on that far side. Now they play it back into the centre. As Newcastle just sitting off here as they let Spurs knock it about inside their own half. Now the ball knocked out wide to this near side. Now, Newcastle have challenged. You got another foul there. Sorry, guys, we were just trying to listen to what the commentators were saying. Then they were talking about the money, the money of the Premier League. I think they just said they were just talking about what Spurs had got extra money for finishing fifth. I didn't quite hear it, so I'd have to check up on that. But they were saying something about Spurs winning extra amount of million, a couple of million more than Newcastle for their position where they've finished in the Premier League. Obviously, Newcastle finishing a little bit further down the league. Now Tottenham play the ball out wide on that far side before Newcastle come to challenge for it. So Spurs just play it back to their centre backs midway inside their own half. Now the ball played out wide on this near side, but it just couldn't keep it in play there, and it's gone out of play, and that'll be a throw into Newcastle, about 5 yards from the halfway line, just inside their own half. Newcastle now playing it back to the goalkeeper. I say knock it out wide on that far side. Ball played forward here as Newcastle. They've just run it out of play there, and that's going to be a Spurs throw in on the far side of the field, just inside the Spurs half. Maybe players just feeling a little bit of fatigue now, obviously, with the long season and obviously the long travel out there to Australia. The first half was quite competitive, quite well played. The second half has got a little bit scruffy. Another substitution here. Spurs bringing on Kulsevek. Kulsevsky. I can never read. Sorry, guys, can't read his name. Johnston also coming off. And now Newcastle, couldn't get his name out of my tongue there. Sorry, guys. Ball played out wide on this near side as Newcastle just intercept it, but they've ended up deflecting it out of play. And that will be another throw in on this near side for Spurs midway inside the Tottenham half. Tottenham now playing the ball in as they knock it into the centre of the field. Now coming forward as Newcastle just sitting off here. Spurs now knocking it out wide to this near side as they try to wedge their way forward here, but just cutting it back there as Newcastle tried to challenge. Now played all the way back to the goalkeeper as Tottenham just keeping the possession at the moment. Kuola coming on in a moment, guys. Spurs now on the attack down this near side. Racing towards the edge of the box. It's Newcastle trying to challenge, but Spurs just cut it back there as they now play it in behind, taking it to the byline, getting the cross in. It's headed towards goal, and it's just wide of this near side post. Scarlett with the opportunity from the header, but he just couldn't get it on target. And that will be a goal kick to Newcastle. And I think we're about to see a Newcastle youngster come on here, guys. I think this is his debut, actually. So, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Kuol, coming on for Newcastle. His debut for the club. Callum Wilson coming off. Garang Kuol is his name. Not a player I'm familiar with, but that's understandable if he's come up through the youth academy. So, yeah, his debut for Newcastle. Akara, how you doing, mate? Welcome to Football Fan Den. Akara, apologies if I'm not reading your name correctly. Akara plays. How you doing, mate? Welcome to Football Fan Den and the Fan Den community. Pleasure to have you with us saying, come on, you Spurs. Thank you for that, mate. Welcome to Football Fan Den UK. Pleasure to have you with us, mate. Thank you for that. Yep, I got that, mate. Thank you for that, top man. Saying, come on, you Spurs. I can't, I can't, Akatar, if I'm reading that correctly, of your name. Apologies if I'm not, mate. Now, Spurs with the possession. Ball played back to the centre circle. So Hall has come on here for as well. Akaha saying, bloody good game, bloody good, mate. Well, thank you very much. Very kind of you to say, mate. Pleasure to have you with us. I'm not sure if you meaning bloody good about the commentary or bloody good game or what, but thank you for that, mate. Top man. Ball played out wide on that far side as Spurs coming forward here. Newcastle trying to challenge as Spurs just managing to keep it as they play it forward now, taking it to the byline. Ball crossed in, and it's just the real margins there, but couldn't keep it in as it's gone behind, and that will be a goal kick to Newcastle. So apologies, guys. The chat is quiet today, but I think it's because this is an unusual kickoff time for a Premier League clubs. And I don't think a lot of people know about this fixture so quickly after only 2 days after the Premier League season has ended. Now Spurs playing the ball into the centre circle. And say, keep the possession here. Newcastle come to challenge for it. Tottenham just playing it back to their centre backs. So they keep the possession though. Now it's kicked long out wide to this near side as Tottenham now racing towards the edge of the box. Ball played in there as Newcastle managing to block it off, and they've won it back here, Newcastle, as they're quickly trying to play it up the field. And the ball has deflected out of play on this near side for a throw-in. Spurs take it quickly. As now Tottenham forced to play all the way back to the halfway line as Newcastle really challenging well there. And Spurs eventually play it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as Tottenham just keep the ball played forward again as they cut it back again, playing it back into their own half and eventually all the way back to the goalkeeper as Newcastle pressing well from the front here. But Spurs again play it out wide on that far side before eventually it's deflected out of play for a throw-in on that far side to Spurs. Don't forget, guys, if you could, please do hit that like button. And thank you very much to you guys that already have. Now Spurs on that far side. As they play it forward there, it's intercepted by Newcastle, but Newcastle forced to kick it out of play on the far side under pressure. So Spurs now with the throw-in on the far side of the field, deep inside the Newcastle half. As the ball comes back in, it's played back up towards the centre circle. Now Tottenham knocking it out wide to this near side. As they keep the possession there, trying to play through the press from Newcastle, but eventually the ball is deflected off a Newcastle player as it goes out of play. And I think that's going to be a corner on this near side if the referee sees it that way. Yep, so Spurs with a corner on this near side. Taken short as now Tottenham play it back into the centre just on the edge of the box there. Ball played back out wide to this near side as now Tottenham coming forward. Ball played in towards the byline as the goalkeeper comes out to block the ball, and it's deflected behind, and that's going to be another corner to Tottenham on this near side. Now Spurs taking the corner. Sorry, guys. Taking the corner shot. As eventually they played it all the way. That was a wasted corner. They played it all the way back to the halfway line. Now the ball played out wide on that far side as Tottenham coming forward here, but the ball deflected off the Newcastle player on that far side as it bounces out for a throw-in. And that will be a throw-in on the far. I can't believe how many seagulls are in this stadium. So, official attendance, guys, 78,419. Now, Spurs with the possession. Played back up the field. As Newcastle come to challenge for it, but Tottenham just managing to keep the possession there as they knock it forward. It's won back by Newcastle. Oh, Newcastle almost getting themselves in trouble there. As eventually the ball is deflected out on this near side for a throw-in. Now Tottenham playing the ball back into the edge of the box. Shot comes in, and it's just wide again of this near side post. Scarlett with the opportunity there, but just couldn't get it on target, the youngster. So more substitutions here. Another 3 substitutions here for Newcastle, guys. So Kraft coming off and Parkinson coming on. Having a goalkeeper substitution here as well for Tottenham. Hall coming off and Dylan Charlton coming off. Also Hearns coming on for Anderson. Now, the ball knocked all the way back to the Tottenham goalkeeper. Austin coming on for Whiteman. Sorry, Whiteman coming on for Austin. Sorry, guys. Now, Spurs on the edge of the centre circle. Just playing it back there, though. Now it's knocked all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now it's knocked out towards this near side as Spurs now with the possession. It's played forward here as Newcastle come to challenge, but Spurs just managing to keep it as they cut it back towards the edge of their own box. Now the ball knocked long down this near side as Spurs working their way through the Newcastle challengers. They got in behind here. Now Spurs racing towards the edge of the box as Newcastle make the challenge. And now Newcastle trying to clear their lines. Ball played out wide on this near side as it's chipped up towards the halfway line. And Tottenham eventually play it back to the goalkeeper who's just come out to intercept that. Now Tottenham playing it down the middle, knocking it forward, out wide to that far side. It's now Tottenham coming forward. Now Spurs knocking it out wide to this near side. Putting it back inside. Oh, they blasted it out wide on this near side, but too much pace on that ball as it goes out of play for a throw into Newcastle. Newcastle take the throw in quickly there as it's and Spurs come across and cut it out as they now race towards the edge of the box. But challenge comes in from Newcastle and the referee blows for the foul. Why has he got his heart? Why has he got his shorts hanging halfway down his backside? Well, that's not very clever, is it? Why more bothered about fashion, the Spurs player there, than well, I'm sorry, guys, I've got to say it because that's got to be hindering his movement. Free kick taken as it's crossed in towards the near post, knocked away, and that's gone behind for a corner on this near side. Dylan Charlton with the deflection, young lad from Gateshead. Spurs now with the corner. Corner comes in as it goes past everybody, and it's gone behind and out of play on that far side. Now Newcastle on the attack down this near side as they race forward, playing the ball in behind the Spurs defence. No foul given by the referee there as he's brought down. Brought down. Now Spurs regaining the possession as they come forward now down the middle, knocking it out wide to this near side as they race towards the Newcastle box. Shot comes in and it's deflected behind. And that will be, well, I think it took a deflection. He got the shot off from well outside the box, but it did look like it took a slight deflection as it went into the box off one of the Newcastle players. But no, it's given as a goal kick by the referee. So ball played out wide on that far side for Newcastle as they now come forward, playing the ball up into the centre circle. It's knocked out wide on this near side, but it rolls straight out of players. Too much pace on that, and that's gone out for a Spurs throw-in on this near side, midway inside the Spurs half. Don't forget, guys, please do hit that like button if you could, and thank you very much to everybody that already has. I know it's quiet stream today, guys, but I don't think a lot of fans are aware of this friendly being played so soon after the Premier League season has ended. Both teams flying straight out to Australia to obviously let the Australian fan community have a little taste of Premier League football live in their own backyard. Now Spurs on the charge as they play the ball out wide on that far side, coming towards the edge of the box. Ball crossed in, it's knocked away. Spurs now with a shot, and it's just wide of this near side post. Not a bad effort, but couldn't get it on target. So if you're just joining us, guys, we're just coming up towards 83 minutes gone. It's Spurs 1, Newcastle 1. Evenly matched game. But obviously, a lot of substitutions in this second half as well, with it being a friendly. Getting to have a look at some of the young players for both teams. Now Spurs with the possession on that far side as they come towards the edge of the box there. And Newcastle make the challenge, and the ball is deflected behind for a corner to Spurs on the far side of the field. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, guys, please do consider subscribing. And if you're listening in on Kick, please do follow. Tottenham now with the corner. Corner comes in, and it's straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Now Newcastle playing the ball out wide on this near side as the ball kicked long up the field. It's won back by Tottenham as they managed to intercept that ball. Now it's played back into the middle as Spurs eventually knock it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Ball chipped out wide on this near side as now Spurs working their way forward here. Just cutting it back though as Newcastle come to press the ball. Spurs with the possession played back into the middle. Now Tottenham again playing it back out wide on this near side as Newcastle come to challenge, but Spurs just play it back into the centre as they play it eventually all the way back to the goalkeeper. Trying to come forward again here as Newcastle pressing well from the front, but Tottenham managing to work through the press as now they knock it out wide to the far side of the field. Coming forward now into the Newcastle half. Newcastle getting bodies back here as Spurs push up the field. Now they play into the centres. Spurs switching the play out to this near side. Now coming towards the edge of the box as they cut it back inside. But just keeping the possession there as Newcastle trying to challenge Spurs, trying to play it in through the defensive line of Newcastle there, but it was just knocked away as Spurs now playing the ball forward and, well, just trying to play a 1-2 there to work their way through the Newcastle defence, but it didn't quite work out as Newcastle managing to win it back. Now Newcastle play the ball out wide on that far side as they charge forward now up the field, coming towards the edge of the Spurs box as Spurs quickly getting bodies back behind the ball here. Now Newcastle just cut the ball back up the field as they play it all the way back to the centre circle. Now switching the play out to this near side. Spurs press the ball from the front, but Newcastle managing to keep it before eventually it's deflected out on this near side as it goes out for a throw-in. We're going to have another substitution here. So goalkeeper change here for Newcastle. We don't ever see this in friendlies, guys. So Spurs also making substitutions here, guys. So Leo Black coming on here for Tottenham, and it's Abbott coming off. Newcastle now with the possession as they play the ball out wide. So, yep, Karametan coming on there as well. Now, now Newcastle with the possession on the edge of their own box as they try to come forward here. Spurs pressing the ball well. Well, Newcastle managed to knock it forward, but it's intercepted there by Spurs. As now Spurs charging down the middle, playing the ball into the box as they're just pushed out wide on that far side, forced to cut it back as Newcastle scrambling to get bodies back behind the ball and managed to do so. Now Spurs come again. Well, finding it very congested inside the box. Spurs cross it in, but it comes out towards this near side. Newcastle coming across the challenge as Tottenham just play it back up the field and eventually all the way back to the halfway line. So 88 minutes gone, guys, still 1-1. Don't forget, if you could, guys, please do hit that like button. Would be appreciated. And thank you very much if you have already. Now Tottenham coming forward on this near side. I say play the ball forward here, but forced to come backwards as Newcastle press the ball well on this near side. Now Spurs switching it out to that far side. Dave saying, now back, Gaz. Queues in the doctors and traffic jams. Hello to all that have joined since I left. Thank you, Dave. Welcome back, mate. Awesome. Top man. Ball played out towards that far side as it's played into the box. And Spurs getting the shot off there, but it's deflected off of Newcastle. Dave saying, what score, please, guys, mate? 1-1, mate. We're almost at full time now. We're on 89 minutes gone. And it's Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. And Spurs just getting the shot off there, but the goalkeeper managing to intercept it at the near post. So what's he called, this young lad for Spurs? He's been quite impressive since he's come on. I think he's Scarrett, he's called, or something like that. Scarrett. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but he's looked quite impressive. I've not seen him play much before. I can't say I've ever seen him play before, to be fair. Ball knocked out wide on this near side as it's knocked out of play. And that will be a throw into Newcastle. So, yeah, thank you for that, Dave. Pleasure to have you back with us, mate. I hope you got your prescription sorted out. Spurs winning the ball back here as they play the ball in towards the edge of the D. Now it's Newcastle trying to challenge, but Spurs keeping the possession just outside the box as they knock it around. But Newcastle trying to challenge. As now Newcastle managed to win it back. Ball played out wide on this near side as Newcastle make the challenge. Spurs make the challenge, and now Spurs winning back the possession as they play it back into the centre. Ball played out wide on that far side. Dave is saying 15 likes for this game, guys. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome for a friendly. But yeah, we do get good likes sometimes on the friendlies in the summer because obviously they're a lot harder for people to keep getting to get the games and stuff. So that's where we're able to help you guys keep better informed of what's going on with the various UK clubs playing outside of the UK over the summer. There's a lot of travel for UK clubs around the world during the summer months, and obviously we try to cover as much as we can of it. So thank you to everybody that has hit that like button. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Ball now with Spurs. As Spurs coming forward towards the edge of the box. Newcastle challenge for it. They managed to win it back here, Newcastle, as they play the ball forward up the field. 3 minutes added on time, guys. We're a minute into the three. Now the ball knocked out wide on that far side as Newcastle just keeping the ball in play. Ball played towards the edge of the box here as Newcastle trying to get it crossed in, but it's deflected behind by Spurs. So thank you for letting me know, Dave. Top man, thank you, mate. Dave is saying, yeah, all sorted. Thanks, Gaz. Good to hear, mate. Good to hear. Awesome. Well, now you can put your feet up and enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Tottenham now with the possession. Don't forget, guys, Europa League final tonight. Hopefully be covering that later. I need to just double check that my missus has got a lift to work first, though, before I can definitely say I'm doing it. But I think she has. So if she's got a lift to work tonight, if I don't have to drive her to work, and we'll be covering that game. Now, Tottenham playing the ball out wide on that far side. Newcastle trying to challenge, but Tottenham just cut it back there as they eventually play it all the way back to the goalkeeper. Now, Tottenham kicking the ball long up the field. Knocked out wide on this near side. It's won back by Newcastle as they just play it back to the goalkeeper. Now the ball played out wide on that far side. As Newcastle play it forward, we're almost time up. And there we go, guys. There is the full-time whistle. And at full-time, it is finished. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. Very evenly matched game. Kind of game you'd expect him at the end of the season for a friendly. Neither team wanting to risk injury to players. It was competitive. There was a good amount of attacking momentum from both teams. Good couple of challenges, but obviously, as you might expect, with it being a friendly, not the full ferocity we would expect in a Premier League game. But as I say, guys, it has finished. Tottenham 1, Newcastle 1. Good game for a friendly, I would say. So yeah, as I say, guys, going to be hopefully back with you later on this evening for the Europa League final, hopefully. So yeah, that game coming, and obviously we'll be trying to cover what games we can over the summer months. So make sure you've got that notification turned on, guys, because it may be random, it may be short notice before the start of any streams during the summer months, because games coming all over the place. We'll obviously be having the international games, we'll be having the Euros, and then we'll be having the club friendlies for pre-season with teams, with clubs travelling all over the world. We could be back out in Australia with more Premier League teams. I think there is another game scheduled out there in Australia between one of these two teams. I'm not sure, with against an all-star team from the MLS, from the Australian A-League All-Stars. I think it is. I think. And we're also we're having a penalty shootout here. Can you believe it? So yeah, we're gonna have penalties here, I think. So yeah, be keeping tuned, guys. As I say, make sure you hit that notification button if you want to keep better informed of what games we're going to be covering over the summer. So yeah, we're going to have penalties here, guys. Well, this could be good practice for some of the players that are going to be playing in the Euros. Obviously, penalties just to entertain the Australian fan community a little bit more. Can't believe it's miserable weather. Dave is saying Newcastle to win 5-4 on penalties. Okay, Dave. Yeah, is that a London thing? I think that's a London thing, isn't it, Dave? Thank you for that, mate. Top man. Nice bit of friendly banter there from Dave, I think, towards his London rivals of his own club. Might not play in the same league, but they're still rivals. All London clubs. I bet you're itching for your club to get in the Premier League, aren't you, Dave? To serve some humble pie to some of these bigger London clubs. Although, in fairness, I think Millwall has got a pretty big fan base. What's the average attendance, Dave, at Millwall? What is it, about 15,000, something like that, maybe? I don't know exactly, but I know it doesn't help when you guys have got half of one stand shut off. Obviously, Millwall do shut off one part of the stand, don't they, to segregate fans, which obviously doesn't help with attendance figures. But yeah, what is it, Dave? About what, 14, 15,000, something like that? I would have thought so with Millwall. You guys got quite a big fan community. So Spurs to kick us off here for the friendly penalties, guys. If you're just joining us, it's a friendly out there in Melbourne, Australia. Both teams travelling out there straight after the Premier League season. The game has just finished 1-1. So for a bit of extra entertainment for the Australian fan community, we're going to have penalties. So Tottenham to take their first penalty. And Dave's saying most definitely a London thing. Top man. Thank you, Dave. Spurs with a penalty on. The goalkeeper saved it. Diving to the far side of the post, low and hard. But the goalkeeper getting to that far side and knocking it wide. Good save by the Newcastle goalkeeper. So first penalty taken by Spurs and the goalkeeper saving it. So White now coming forward for Newcastle's first penalty. Joe White to take it. Oh, that's cool and calmly taken. Straight into the far corner of the net as the goalkeeper for Spurs going the opposite way. So Newcastle draw first blood in the penalty shootout. We've had one penalty each. Spurs missing their first one, obviously with the goalkeeper saving it, and Newcastle's youngster there slotting it coolly and calmly into the far corner of the net with the Spurs keeper going the wrong way. So Tottenham to take their second penalty here. And it's low and hard into this near side of the net. Goalkeeper went the right way, but just couldn't get down quick enough. So Spurs scoring their second penalty. Scarlett with the goal from the penalty spot. I've been impressed with him. He came on during the second half and he does look like a talent. Obviously, we've only seen him for, I don't know, he's been on the pitch for about half an hour or something, so we've only seen him for half an hour, but he's been in the mix of things for Spurs. So Newcastle now to take their second penalty. And it's blasted right into this near side post. All the shots going low at the moment, guys. As Newcastle with the advantage again, 2-1 on penalties. Two penalties taken by both teams, and that makes it 2-1 to Newcastle. Davey's saying 18, I think, Gaz. 18? Sorry, Dave, you've lost me there, mate. So Spurs now to take their third penalty. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, 18,000. Wow. Ball knocked into the top corner of the net. Spurs score their third penalty. Yeah, 18,000. Thank you, Dave. Awesome. Yeah, I thought, well, that's more than, yeah, I thought I didn't want to, I was guessing with 15,000. So I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but I knew it'd be somewhere around that. But yeah, that's a fantastic attendance, Dave. Absolutely. And I think you guys had increased that if you was in the Premier League, wouldn't you, mate? Dave is saying, sorry, next penalty. Newcastle smash it hard into the top corner of the far post as that is now 3-2 to Newcastle on penalties. Another young player there. I'm trying to see who it is. What's he called? Diallo. With the goal, the third penalty for Newcastle. Day saying, but we have planning permission to increase the seating at the Den from 20k all seated to 34k. Awesome. Thank you, Dave. Spurs now to take the next penalty. Low, straight down the middle. That was cool and calm as you like, guys. The Spurs youngster. So 3-3. But Newcastle with the advantage as the first penalty was saved by the Newcastle goalkeeper. Thank you for that, Dave. So Newcastle now to take their fourth penalty. Jamie's with us. Jamie saying, hey up, guys. How are you and Becky doing? And everyone in the chat. How are you doing, Jamie? Welcome to the show. Newcastle now. As this ball smashed into the near side of the net on this near side post. And that is now Newcastle 4, Tottenham 3. So, yeah, thank you, Jamie. I'm doing good, mate. Welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you and Megan having a good day. Pleasure to have you with us, mate. Welcome to the show, Jamie. And, yeah, doing good, mate. Just taking a day off today because of the weather being miserable. Spurs now with their fifth penalty straight down the middle. And the goalkeeper going the wrong way. So Spurs now with the 4 penalties. And if Newcastle score this fifth one, they will win 5-4 on penalties. Jamie saying, hey up, Dave. How are you doing, pal? Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. Top man. Loving the positive vibes. Jamie saying, this weather today, I know it's miserable. I know, Jamie. Very miserable, mate. I bet you're surprised to find me streaming at this time, aren't you? You have to turn on the notifications, mate. Now it's summertime. Games come all over the place. Newcastle now with their fifth penalty. And it's into the back of the net, straight down the middle. So Newcastle winning on penalties 5-4. The game finishing 1-1. And Newcastle winning 5-4 on the penalty shootout. But obviously the penalties just done for a bit of extra entertainment for the Australian fan community. Jamie saying this weather. I know it's miserable, Jamie. Yeah, absolutely miserable, mate. Jamie saying not bad, guys. Thanks, mate. Good to hear, Jamie. Good to hear, mate. So there you go, guys. That's full time 1-1. And Newcastle, as I say, winning 5-4 on penalties, but the penalties just done as a little bit of extra entertainment. The goals in the game coming from Maddison on 32 minutes and Isaac on 45 minutes, respectively, for both teams. And as I say, Newcastle coming out on top 5-4 winners on penalties. So there you go, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, but hope to be back with you later on this evening as we've got the Europa League final. So hopefully we will be back for that later on. Well, obviously, I need to be sure that my missus has got a lift to work before I can commit to that. But if she has, I will be back on for the Europa League final. But yeah, thank you to everybody that has been with us today. Jamie saying 19 likes today. Big thanks, everyone. Thank you, Jamie. Absolutely well said, mate. Well said. Yep. Yeah, sometimes we can get good likes on these friendly games during the summer because obviously a lot harder for people to get the games. So thank you for letting me know, Jamie, and a big thank you to everybody that has been kind enough and positive enough to hit that like button. You guys are absolutely awesome. Jamie's saying, "See you in a bit, guys. Catch up again, mate." Thank you, Jamie. Same to you, mate. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. Hope you managed to make the most of the miserable weather today. Obviously, having a day off work. But thank you, Jamie. Same to you, mate. Take care. Stay safe and well. And hopefully, maybe see you later on this evening, mate. Top man. And a big shout out to Dave that's been with me for a good percentage of the stream today. Big shout out to Dave. Thank you, Dave, for your conversation and company during the stream. Really appreciate it, mate. Hope you enjoy your week off. And as I say, thank you for being with us. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys, and go and get a few other things done. But big thank you to everybody that's been good enough to hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and consider following if you're listening on Kick. And don't forget, guys, make sure you put that notification notice on so you get notified of what games we do over the summer, as some of them may be at very short notice, with games played all over the world. Obviously, as Premier League clubs and what have you will be travelling around the world during the summer break, and obviously the internationals games as well being spread about. Rick dropping in. How you doing, Rick? Rick saying, I'm late to the party. Take care, all. Thank you for dropping in, Rick. Always a pleasure, mate. Please do hit that like button if you could. But thank you for dropping in, Rick. You are a star. Thank you, Jamie, as well. You're a star. Really appreciate it, guys. Top stuff. Thank you for dropping in. I know you've dropped in late, but that's understandable with this game, as I think a lot of people not knowing this game was going on, as we only finished the Premier League 2 days ago. I was shocked myself when I saw it so soon after the Premier League's ended. So, yeah, thank you, Rick and Jamie, and also a big shout out to Dave as well. Thank you, guys, for dropping in. Really appreciate it. As I say, I'm going to wrap it up here. But best wishes to all you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget, turn on that notification button to keep better informed of what games we're recovering over the summer. As I say, hope to be back with you later on this evening for the Europa League final. But for now, that's it from me, guys. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.